Today we're diving into the fascinating world of daylight saving time, that twice-yearly ritual of changing our clocks that leaves many of us scratching our heads and asking, why do we do this again? Is it about farmers? Spoiler alert, it's not, despite what your grandpa might tell you. The truth, as it often is a bit more complicated, so buckle up as we explore the history, the science, and the ongoing debate surrounding daylight saving time. Let's start with a bit of history. And no, it wasn't Benjamin Franklin who came up with this whole clock-changing scheme. The real credit for daylight saving time goes to a bug-loving New Zealander named George Hudson. Back in 1895, Hudson wanted more daylight hours after work to indulge his passion, collecting insects. Can you imagine being so into bugs that you're like, the world needs to shift its entire timekeeping system so I can catch more beetles? That, my friends, is dedication. Daylight saving time might have stayed a quirky footnote in history if it weren't for World War I. In 1916, Germany was desperate to conserve fuel. Their solution? Shift the clocks forward by an hour during the summer months to take advantage of the longer daylight hours. The idea caught on like wildfire. Countries all over Europe, including the UK, adopted DST as a wartime measure. Finally, in 1966, the US adopted the Uniform Time Act, which gave us the DST schedule we know and maybe don't love today. Now, before you go throwing your clock out the window in frustration, let's talk about the good stuff. First up, more sunshine. That extra hour of daylight in the evening is a godsend for anyone who enjoys outdoor activities after work or school. Plus, studies have shown that this extra light can actually reduce pedestrian fatalities by up to 13%. Less darkness, better visibility, fewer accidents. Makes sense, right? Okay, economics nerds, this one's for you. Remember all that extra daylight? Well, it turns out it's not just good for picnics and frisbee games, it's also a boon for local businesses. Longer evenings mean more time for people to go shopping, dine out at restaurants, or catch a movie, and that translates to more revenue for businesses, which can boost the local economy. One of the original arguments for daylight saving time was that it would save energy. While there's some evidence to suggest that daylight saving time does lead to a small reduction in electricity use, it's not the dramatic game changer some folks were hoping for. Factors like increased air conditioner use in the summer evenings can offset some of those savings. Now, for the not-so-sunny side of DST, let's talk about sleep. Because that 1-hour shift, seemingly small on paper, can wreak havoc on our sleep patterns. Our bodies thrive on routine, and suddenly messing with our internal clocks can lead to a whole host of issues. Studies have linked the sleep disruption caused by DST to an increase in heart attacks, strokes, and even workplace accidents in the days following the time change. So, yeah, maybe that extra hour of sleep is more important than we give it credit for. So, where do we go from here? The debate over daylight saving time continues to rage on, with passionate voices on both sides. Some states, like Arizona and Hawaii, have opted out of DST entirely, sticking with standard time year-round. Others are pushing for permanent daylight saving time, arguing that the benefits outweigh the drawbacks. But sleep experts warn that permanent DST could actually be worse, leading to darker mornings and potentially exacerbating those negative health outcomes we talked about. The truth is, there's no easy solution. We're talking about a complex issue with real-world implications for our health, our economy, and even our sleep schedules. Ultimately, the decision of whether or not to continue with daylight saving time rests with lawmakers, but that doesn't mean our voices don't matter. So, what do you think? Are you Team DST or Team Standard Time? Let us know in the comments below. What are the biggest pros and cons of DST in your opinion? Do you think we should stick with the current system, ditch it altogether, or find a different way to manage our time? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all things timely and controversial.